guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains, North Carolina, and today I've got a new professional scan tool to check out. This one here is the Foxwell NT624 Elite. Really nice here. I have a feeling this is going to really be a great addition to the shop, the restoration part of the shop here. So this is, I've made videos, and I've actually got another one in the queue here that kind of talks about the difference between scanners, scan tools, and professional level scan tools and the differences between them. This one being right in the middle, like, well, the upper half of the middle. So like upper middle class, let's say, right? So this thing here is capable of reading pretty much all the systems on modern cars. You know, modern cars sometimes have 20, 30, 40, 100 computers, 100 different modules. This one here will get in there and read all those, or 99% of them. And it also has the ability to do some limited bi-directional controls. It does oil light resets, it does emergency park and brake stuff, and there's some other functions and features that it does. And it's also updatable, so as the years roll on, this does offer software updates, which is great. So I'm really excited to try this thing out. It just came in the mail. It's got excellent reviews, but let's open it up and check it out, okay? Nice blow molded case. I like that. So, you know, you're going to have something for the rest of your life. It's good that you want it to be protected. And come on now. There we go. Let's save this in case there's a problem. There we go. And we'll go ahead and take a look at this paperwork here before we open it up. But features and benefits: provides easy diag on multiple vehicles, works on OBD1. Huh. So OBD1 and OBD2, all the way up through 19. Identifies cars quickly and easily with key VIN reading. Reads and clears codes in all electronic modules. That's the important part here. Oil light reset for 49 makes, park and brake coverage 42 makes, live sensor data, graphing, PIDs for all kinds of, that's good. Freeze frame, ECU info, color screen, menu driven, awesome, bilingual, upgradable, nice. So that was one of the big reasons that I picked that out, was upgradable. And also not just upgradable, but comes with lifetime upgrades. So you're not having to pay, for upgrades as the years go on, which is something that, you know, when you get into the pro level, the upper class, the pro level scan tools, you do usually have to pay per year. Not that I have a problem with that in general, but that's a nice case. I like that. Anyway, let's open this thing up and see what we got. Okay. Looks like it comes with a quick start guide, and I'll have to read through that. So it is saying, how to do an update. It's probably the first thing you want to do when you buy a tool like this is go ahead and update it, because, you know, maybe it was sold at the end of 2018 or manufactured at the end of 2018. So, you know, it's going to have a little bit of outdated stuff here. Looks like some manuals here. Yeah, really nice manual. 2019. And it looks like it's pretty in-depth. Right on. Okay, so definitely something I'll be reading over tonight. Got a warranty card I'll definitely be filling out. And then looks like diagnostic stuff here. Oh, they have a touchscreen model. I've actually looked at a couple of other units from them that I was interested in looking at and getting. Wow. 4-channel oscilloscope. Now we're talking. Anyway, back to this. More things to play with. On the bottom here, looks like a micro SD card down there, and our USB port for updates. Up on the top here, we'll have our OBD2. This I like, the fact that it's replaceable, because, you know, eventually these things do wear out. And it's the standard, like, I don't know how many pins that is, but it's the standard that you see on Snap-on and all the other scanners here. So pretty nice. It's heavy. It's heavier than I thought it would be. In the hand, it's probably about twice the size of a cell phone. Good size here. Serial number on the back. And yeah, that's it. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to update it, and I'm going to make a separate video of that. I'll upload it at a separate time, but for right now I'm going to update it, and then we'll go out to the car. I won't show you the update part, but I'll show you we'll go out to the car here and plug it in and try it out. Now with the scan tool all updated, we're going to go ahead, and the last thing to do is plug in our OBD2 cabling. So apparently you can get OBD1 connections for this thing if you want to. I have an OBD1 scan tool, but, you know, it's really getting to the point where you just don't see those type of vehicles, and I kind of specialize. Well, I work on all makes and models, but in my hobby, when I do my restorations, I specialize in mid-'80s vehicles, and you just don't see it. You just don't need it a lot. Anyway, back to this cable. Wow, nice long cable. That's got to be a good 6-footer there, and I like that a lot. Last thing to do for us, let's go out to the car and try this thing out. All right, we got this thing plugged in out here in the car, and let's take a look at some of the stuff. So we have auto VIN. That would be for non-generic OBD2. So we'd be able to go into all the systems that we have available. OBD2, that is going to be your generic OBD2 stuff there. Diagnostics, not sure what that is. Let's check that out. American Diagnostics, demo, I don't know. Okay, oh, so this is just going through pretty much what we're going to be going through anyway, so I'll back out of that. Maintenance reminder, so let's take a look. We'll take, this one does not have an electric parking brake reset, but it does have an oil reset. So we're going to be looking at Asian vehicle, Mitsubishi, and auto reset. Let's take a look at what we got. Maybe it'll do it. Reset reminder. Oh, wow. So we have, that's awesome. We can actually set the mileage we want it to be at, which is really convenient. Let me try to adjust that down. So, all right, but let's back out of that. Cool stuff. So go back out. And let's check out settings here. So we have a display test, language select, keypad test. Probably this about would be like, you know, the software version. Units of measurements, shortcuts. I've already added one shortcut in there. I added that. And just so we don't drive everyone crazy, I'm going to turn off the beep for this video. There we go. All right. And then data manager. Data manager would be after we take test drives, do live data recordings, you know, if we're trying to catch something in the act, so to speak, a sensor that's maybe malfunctioning. Data manager is going to be saving those files, so that's what that's for. And that, you can transfer that to the Foxwell software. I'll show you in part 2 how you would go about doing that. And then update, of course, if we want to update the scan tool. Again, part 2 is all about updating the scan tool. But for right now, I just want to kind of show you how this thing works. So we're going to go to auto VIN. Most vehicles made after, say, 2008 are going to have auto VIN capabilities. They're going to know, they're smart enough to know what kind of car they are, the computers are. Before '08, say to like 2002, it's spotty. And before 2002, you can pretty well guarantee that you're going to have to enter in that VIN number manually. But this one should have that. So let's take a look. We're going to say automatic VIN acquisition. And it's going to look into it. There it is. Boy, that was quick. It's asking us yes or no. We're going to hit yes. And Smart VIN, let's take a look. It should tell us, yeah, completed. Manual selection. Okay, so on some vehicles, it's going to go by the VIN and say, hey, here's what this car is equipped with. On this particular one, it's not showing that. And of course, once you do software updates on these things, a lot of times those functions get added. This is a 2018. This tool coverage is right now, until I do the update on it, it probably is 2018. So that's not terribly surprising or worrisome. It's asking us year model. We're going from 2006 on. We're going to go with North America, and we're going to go down and pick our model here, and I have a Mirage. Okay, so again, like right there, it's only covering up to 2015. It hasn't been updated yet, but that's okay. 2015 is identical. The engine is identical and so on, so we should be able to do that. We do have the CVT version here. There we go. And there it is, right? So we'll confirm that with F2. And let's see what kind of programming we can get into. We'll go into diagnosis. Quick scan. Let's check it out. Let's see what it finds. So there's 12 possible systems on this car. This is obviously does not have a diesel, but it is automatic CVT transmission. It's finding ABS. Electronic power steering equipped. Some models had electronic air conditioning controls, like automatic climate control. This one does not. Airbag, E-Tax. Keyless entry. Tire pressure monitoring sensor. Steering angle sensor. Combined meter. I mean, it's finding all the systems that it has it. Occupant detection module. Right on. So one thing I'm going to say right here, of course, there's no codes in this car right now, so it's kind of hard to go any farther. Well, no, we'll go farther, but hard to find a fault anyway. But time it took to scan all 12 modules. You know, we have Snap-on Solus at the other shop, and it took about an identical amount of time to go through and find the information there. So I'm really happy with the time it took to go through those systems. My OTC Genesys, which granted is a pretty old tool, takes much longer to go through all those systems for those requests. So we're going to go into the main computer here. This is the engine slash climate control, or not, engine slash transmission. And we can read codes here. Of course, there's not going to be any no codes, so we'll hit OK on that. But let's take a look at live data. This is where most of your techs are going to make their money anyway. You'll read a code, but you want to really get a good information. The way to do so is, of course, with data. So let's take a look. We'll look at power supply voltage. Yeah, you know what? Let's not. Let's see here. Yeah, we could go with accelerator pedal position. Brake fluid pressure. That's interesting. Let's check that one out. RPMs. Lot of CVT PIDs, it looks like. Brake switch, we can look at that one. Oil pressure switch. Nah, all right, let's go with that. That's enough anyway. So we have 3. Brake fluid pressure, none. Let's hit the brakes. Look at that. So their brake fluid pressure jumps up. Brake switch flipped on. Let's take a look at acceleration value. I don't know, the key's on, engine off, but I'm hitting the gas. Okay, so it's not going to register that until we got into the engine run. But let's take a look at this in a graph sense. Single graph F1, so right now we're looking at that pedal. Let's take a look at multi-graph. Okay, so brake pressure fluid, if I push the brakes, you can see that shooting up. Hopefully you can see that shooting up. It's really hard to film this. Now let's try it like that. So I'm definitely liking that we have our graphs. We can get 2 graphs. We can also merge them so they overlay on top of each other. That's nice as well. So it's a little small, maybe hard to read here where you guys are, but we have it written and in graphing right there. So very cool. Let me back out of that. Let me back out of that. All right, not bad. And then we'll go into the, let's take one more look here. We'll go down. Oh, reading codes. Okay, there we go. And let's go into the engine controls itself. And we'll go to live data for that and see what other PIDs are available. I'm just going to take a look on this one. "90 PIDs. 90 PIDs ought to be just about every sensor on the thing. And I'm not going to go into the graphing parts of this, but I just want to scroll through some of this. I won't even go through the whole thing. Power supply voltage, idle speed. I mean, look at all this. There's plenty of information here that is for you. So, you know, look, for your homeowner, somebody who just wants a code reader, this is probably overkill, no doubt. But for a guy that's working for a living, working on cars, this certainly is going to be just, you know, irreplaceable. Injector duration. Okay, great. So there's that. Let me back out. I want to try something that's a little bit harder because, you know, most of your scan tools will have the ability to look at that. But let's take a look at something that's different here. Let's roll down. Yeah, let's take a look at Meter. So, like, Meter is a program that's a computer that most scan tools wouldn't be able to read. So I'm just kind of curious if it has any PIDs that it'll allow us to look at in the combo Meter. And let's see what we got here. Let's take a look. All data. Power source voltage, fuel gauge target, odometer. So check it out, man. That's pretty cool, is it not? That is not something you're going to get on a regular scan tool, like an Innova scan tool or, you know, a handheld pocket scanner, let's say. That's something that's got a mid-level scanner like this one is going to be able to find. And while the Foxwell is not bi-directional except for a few functions, the fact that you can get into any component, any computer, and ask it, to show me its list allows you to diagnose many more systems than a regular pocket scanner or handheld scanner would allow you to do. I think I'm going to leave it at that for today. If you have any questions about the Foxwell, please feel free to give me a contact, give me an email, or shoot me a message down here, and I'll be happy to get back with it. And I'll try to answer that for you. Lots of cool stuff here. Part 3 will get a little more in depth in this thing. Obviously, having just picked this up today and reading through the manual, there's a lot left to learn. Obviously, OBD2 diagnostics there. Maintenance would be your resets and stuff like that. And we already talked about data manager. That is it. Part 2, I'll do a software update. Hopefully, that'll bring some of these cars up to more, up from 2015 to say 2018, 2019. Or even 2020 for a lot of these models, my guess would be. And then in part 3, like I said, we'll get a lot deeper into the actual diagnostic functions, what I can do with this thing, how I can diagnose problems, and maybe I'll create a few problems with cars, and we'll see how well it is at determining those issues. If you like this video, perhaps you'll think about liking and subscribing. I'll see you next time. Take care.
Something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms. Freedom is mighty sweet.